Recognized.
Mr. Chairman, last November, Americans spoke with a very clear voice. They told us that we needed to get the country working again. They told us that big government was not the solution. They told us to lead or get out of the way on the economy. And our side got it, particularly with the cap-and-trade vote in the last Congress. Well, Mr. Chairman, today the House has a chance again to vote for a bill that directly responds to the demands of the American people. This legislation will remove the biggest regulatory threat to the American economy. This is a threat imposed not by Congress, but entirely by the Obama Environmental Protection Agency. We all know that this administration wanted a cap-and-trade system to regulate greenhouse gases, but Congress said no. So beginning in early 2009, EPA began putting together a house of cards to regulate emissions of carbon dioxide. The agency began with automobiles, declaring that their emissions endangered public health and welfare. That single endangerment finding has since been used by EPA to launch an unparalleled regulatory onslaught. The result 2 years later is a series of regulations that will ultimately affect every citizen, every job creator, every industry, really every aspect of our economy and way of life. And, Mr. Chairman, this bill is about protecting jobs. EPA regulations will hit our manufacturing sector hard, with direct limits on factory emissions, indirect costs from the higher prices to power their facilities. It'll hit small businesses hard, too, because when the electricity to power your business and the gasoline to fuel your vehicles is more expensive, your profits less, and you hire fewer new employees. That's why the NFIB, the Farm Bureau, NAM, and others, Chamber of Commerce, they have endorsed H.R. 910. This is a key vote with many of those different groups. Mr. Chairman, this bill is also about energy prices for working families. Power plants will be forced to comply with strict new emission caps. They'll have to purchase expensive new equipment to retrofit their facilities. And we all know the costs have nowhere to go except on family and businesses' monthly utility bills. And it is about gas prices. The refiners that turn oil into gasoline will also be caught into the web of costly regs. When it costs more to make gasoline, it costs more to buy gasoline. And with prices already at $4 a gallon across much of the country, the last thing that our families need is government policies designed to make the price at the pump even higher. I'm from Michigan. I know what a struggling economy indeed looks like. And I think that it is a travesty that this government is deliberately imposing policies that are going to harm job creators and work families. And for what, Mr. Chairman? For what? EPA Administrator Lisa Jackson herself admits that U.S. regulation of greenhouse gases will not affect global climate conditions. The only environmental impact may be to ship our jobs to countries with no environmental protections at all. So, Mr. Chairman, at the end of the day, the EPA climate regime is all economic pain and no environmental gain. So let's pass this bill today and get the American economy back on track. I reserve the balance of my time.
Gentleman reserves his time.